In today's video tip of the day, I'm going to continue talking about training the rear delts, but today we're going to talk about using dumbbells. Now in the last two videos, I talked about using cables to train the rear delts as a great effective way to really target those weak rear delt muscles. And while I mentioned with cables to focus on the contraction, not overloading the muscle fibers, today I'm going to talk about overload using dumbbells. Now there are two main ways that muscles appear to grow, at least from the science and what we understand in this point in time. And one is through muscle damage. Causing muscle damage can increase muscle growth and strength gains. Well, how do you create more damage to create better strength and muscle mass gains? You place more overload on the muscle. Mechanical overload, heavy weights. It's one of the best ways to really cause muscle damage and instigate muscle growth. Another way that muscles grow is through fatigue mechanisms. By fatiguing the muscle, the cell undergoes certain changes that lead to an increase in muscle growth and strength gains. Now, using lightweight and higher reps, such as with cables for rear delts, is a great way to reach fatigue and maximize the number of muscle fibers that are used in the rear delt. So you're maximizing the number of muscle fibers that you're fatiguing, which helps to lead greater muscle growth. With dumbbells, I want to focus first on talking about creating more overload. And one of the best ways to create overload is by cheating. Cheating reps, although it can take some of the focus off the target muscle, they allow you to place more overload on the muscle by allowing you to use more weight by using other muscles to assist in the movement. So with dumbbells, you can do a bit of cheating. Now, I'm not saying you should do every set like this, but it's okay to get a few cheat reps at the end of your set, or even do a few sets where you know your form is going to be a little loose, you're going to be using more explosive movements, but that's fine as well. As long as you do both versions, you'll get the best of both worlds. Now I'm actually going to demonstrate the bent over lateral raise with 5-pound dumbbells. Because to do this exercise properly, you really need to start with lightweight and get the mechanics down to the movement first. So as the name implies, you have to bend over to do a bent over lateral raise. However, you don't want to bend over at the waist and have a rounded back. That's going to put a lot of stress on your back when doing this exercise. You want to focus on maintaining the natural arch in your lower back. So you need to bend at the knees and sit back a bit. In fact, the form I like to use is I drop down into a squat and literally rest my torso on my thighs. And then I can do the exercise from here. Now let's look at this from the front and talk about form in relationship to the arms. Now your arms are going to hang straight down below your shoulders. You don't need to bring the dumbbells together. There's no resistance here. And remember, I talked yesterday that this range of motion here really doesn't involve the rear delts all that much. So shoulder width apart is fine. You're going to maintain a slight bend in your elbows and then bring your arms up and out to your sides. You're going to maintain a slight bend in your elbows and then bring your arms up and out to your sides. Arms should be parallel or above in the top position. And then you're going to hold it for a second in the top position. Really focus on contracting those rear delts, really feeling them contract in the middle traps as well before you lower it back down and repeat. Now that's how to do a picture perfect. Now when using heavier dumbbells, your form can be much looser. But you're still using fairly strict form. Now there are a number of ways you can use both these forms of this exercise. The simplest is to just do the heavier weight with looser form some workouts, and then do lighter weight for the far stricter form in other workouts. And then you just periodize your heavy weight reps and periodize your light weight reps. Or You could also start with the heavy weight while the rear delts are fatigued, they're fresh and strongest, to really maximize overload. So maybe do 2 to 3 sets, heavy bent over lateral raises with looser form, and then follow up with 2 or 3 sets of lightweight lateral raises, higher reps, but far stricter form. Let me know how you're liking these tips. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, guys, stay Gym Army strong.